Hey everybody, welcome back to the Weather Nerds YouTube page. I'm your host, meteorologist Greg Majeski, and today we're going to be talking about the drought conditions that have been expanding across the country. A little unusual to see this, especially considering we're supposed to be in an El Nino type fall-winter situation where we're supposed to get rain across, especially areas across the deep south. Now, right now, as you can see here is the latest update. Many areas here across the deep south over toward the west into Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, especially in Mississippi, are dealing with some very bad drought conditions. And it does appear, as we look at the latest forecast models, things are not going to get any better. Taking a look at the latest GFS American model here, we can see what we're projecting here for the next 2 weeks. Looking at Wednesday, big area of high pressure is firmly in control across the country. This is what's bringing in a lot of the frigid temperatures here across most of the country. And you got rain exiting the east coast and maybe a little precipitation out on the west coast. As I go ahead and step through this, you can see as we head into the weekend, there's some active weather out here on the west coast, getting a little bit of rain out here in Northern California and through Oregon. But again, most of the country is staying on the dry side. Now, again, stepping through this, again, through time, again, that flow continues up into the Pacific Northwest. This is going into Sunday morning. You can see the precipitation out here in the Intermountain region. You got some rain here across the Great Lakes, but the area that really needs it down here across the Deep South, not getting anything, not much to be concerned about, that's for sure. And that trend looks like it's going to be continuing. Again, continuing forward against, continuing with the wet weather up on the Pacific Northwest. We've got a frontal system here as we head into late Monday. This is late Monday. You got a cold front coming through here, giving some rains across the northwest, or the northeast, I should say, of New York and stretching down toward Ohio. And you've got another system coming out here on the west coast with some precipitation. But again, the areas that desperately need the rainfall, not getting it as we step through into the middle of next week. Again, looking pretty quiet. Got a little disturbance there riding up through portions of Illinois, a little light snow up there, and then another system coming in again on the west coast. So a very wet pattern here for the Pacific Northwest. Typically, during the El Nino year, you're getting an active subtropical jet that should be bringing some moisture in across the southern portion of the United States, and we're yet to see that materialize just yet. And again, not looking at any major rainfall here going in through, this is into November the 11th on Saturday that day, nothing there. And then finally, looks like as we head into Sunday, that's on November the 12th, where we're starting to see, again, maybe a decent storm system with some moisture coming up out of the Gulf of Mexico and getting some rainfall here across the middle portion of the country. That might bring some relief there, especially where they need it across Texas and Louisiana. But again, this is still a good ways off. This is, again, looking out for the next 2 weeks, a pretty good system there, moving it across the south, and this goes up to about the 14th. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm only tracking one decent rain event that may bring some relief to some of those drought conditions. So the Weather Prediction Center is continuing to show very limited rain chances across the deep south where the drought conditions continue to expand. As you can see, what little precipitation there is very limited, very low down here on the scale. So we're talking maybe a tenth of an inch. Now where they're getting tons of it, look at the Pacific Northwest here for the next 7 days. I mean, you're talking upwards of about 5 inches of rain there and some decent precipitation here across the areas of the Great Lakes down toward Illinois. But other than that, the next 7 days looking dry. In fact, as we just looked at, the next 2 weeks look fairly dry overall. We can only hope that we get a pattern shift here toward the middle of the month and we can get a little more active moisture involved, especially across the deep south. We're going to be monitoring this very closely, and so you can continue to look for updates. And if you'd like to get those updates, do me a favor. Please subscribe to my channel, and while you're at it, hit that notification button. That way, when I do upload new content, you're alerted to the new content and you can check it out. Again, I'm kind of new to the YouTube business, and I'm hoping to grow a pretty good page for you guys to kind of check in, and without all the hype. You know, I'm just going to give you the facts and give it how it's straight without going too crazy for you. All right, that's today's update. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.